Hello and welcome to this week's Artist Gang Tuesday with Donna Downey Studios. My name is Nicole Watson and today I'm making quick fall cards with Donna's single stem stencil. I began by cutting this 9x12 watercolor paper into 4 pieces for my card fronts. Then I taped it down onto this clipboard to kind of help prevent some of that buckling that happens when you use a lot of water on watercolor paper. Next I held my stencil as tight as I could against that watercolor paper and started to color in with layering the Inktense blocks by Derwent inside of the holes of the stencil. I started off with darker colors, the reds on the outside, and kind of moved to the yellow. And then once I had all of the color in those stencil holes, I began to activate that Inktense block with a water brush. It was easy kind of to maybe start with the lighter colors and work darker, or darker colors and work lighter. I also had a pile of water, or a puddle of water on that palette paper next, so that I needed a little bit more water. I didn't have to squeeze that water brush too much because too much water would cause extra puddling. I didn't mind when some of it spilled out because I wanted it to look kind of watercolory and not as tight as like an oil painting or an acrylic painting might be. So I wasn't too concerned when it spilled out. When I was finished activating that Inktense, I then did a little bit of highlighting and darkening, shadowing. I grabbed that really cool purple color and added some shadowing on the sides of the leaves and just maybe some fake little veining here and there, and also some red to darken those leaves a little bit. I did the exact same process with the second page, except I did the colors a little bit differently. I put that purple on top and then it had a little bit more orange and yellow, and you can see at the end the difference in results from just mixing up your colors a little bit. I cleaned up my edges, added a little bit more shadowing or shading, and some highlights of colors where I needed, and then it was time for the next layer. I grabbed a spritzer water bottle and dampened my pages, and then I grabbed this really neat sprinkle grater, I think is the official name from Derwent, and actually sprinkle graded the different colors of Inktense blocks on my watercolor paper. The water helped activate the paper a little bit so that when the sprinkles hit the water they kind of flare out a little bit and stick to the paper. I did use the purple, the red, the yellow, the orange, all of the different colors, and then I like to kind of concentrate that yellow in the leaves, and you'll see that in the up close picture coming up, but it was fun to get the little speckles on the paper. Next I sprayed a couple layers of this fixative to fix those little speckles to the paper. Then I wanted some larger drops, so I scribbled some of the blocks onto palette paper and activated it with water to make some like real watercolor kind of effect, and sprinkled that on with my paintbrush to get some larger dots on the pages. Once all of those sprinkles are dry, I grabbed this Heidi Swap Color Shine in gold and just tapped the little applicator on with my finger to add some little gold sparkles. There are a couple others that I did first. The one on the left I did a little bit more loose, and the one on the right I held the stencil really tight to the paper to try to avoid the seeping under the stencil. And so then I grabbed that Color Shine again and sprinkled on it with gold. And here are two others I did from those 4 that I cut. And I'm going to do the same process here, adding the Color Shine to those as well. So then I took off the pages from my clipboard and trimmed them all down to be the sizes for my card friends. Once my card friends were cut, I layered it on top of some fall colored cardstock and stuck them on each of the cards with those little foam things to kind of raise them a little bit from the front of my cards. So at this point, I wanted my cards pretty simple and didn't do anything else to them, but you could even go farther and grab a pencil or a pen and draw some veining in, or add some doodling to the front, or even stamp some sentiments on the front of these cards. They're very versatile and would make great thank you cards, birthday cards, anything for fall. And if you don't want to make cards with them, you could also put them in a journal page and art journal with them. So that's it. Those were some very quick, simple cards using Donna's stencil, minimal supplies, with a wonderful result. Thanks so much for watching this Artist Gang Tuesday.